Ever since March started learning swordplay from Yan Cheng and Yun Li, I wonder how well she's progressing.
Won't be.
There you are. I was looking around before you got here. Nope. Let's just... Actually, she's been quite diligent in her swordplay. Besides, I used to skip classes even more than her back when I was... So... no need. I asked, since you're here, let me I'm more interested in you today. Let's walk and talk. Lucia told me there's tasty food in Arum Alley. Let's go there.
Dumplings and steamed buns. The buns are huge.
A table for two, please.
All right, come on in.
Well, we'll have
The...
Oh, don't worry.
Well, then I'll start making a few dishes and...
Thank you. No, I've thought about it. Yeah. Grandpa said to never be stingy when it comes to making friends. Oh, then we can... Well, to be more precise, Yan Qing mentioned you before. He said that you're not to be underestimated. So I've always been curious about your sword. How the weight is distributed. Yeah. So, Grandpa said that a sword doesn't have to be constrained by its shape. So, in a sense, your bat is a... Let me guess. You're someone who... Amazing, right? And I bet you always say something silly like, I've come across so many sword wielders who acted all righteous and moral, but were really just liars. Their swords always told... I've hunted down hundreds of swords like this so far. And... Yes, but only for those who... Just looking at a sword is not enough. Grandpa always says, words and expressions can be deceiving. But in a fight to the death, a sword's move...
Miss Yun Li, for talented sword masters like you, but for people like her who have already made significant contributions to the Xianzhou, it has been a while.
And you...
Thank you for your introduction, Miss Nameless. I apologize for interrupting your conversation. I happened to hear you discussing the war dance. Yes, with the war dance approaching, many guests from afar are pouring in. Mr. Pavo's planet recently joined the Pan-Cosmic Trade System. He brought his delegation here this time, not only...
Miss Shikwe, the word gift is perhaps more fitting than return. While it did once belong to the...
I apologize for my poor choice of words. Mr. Pavo's delegation, General Huayan, plans to personally thank them at the Palace of Astrum and present the sword as a... Since you two were talking so enthusiastically about the war dance...
Nice to meet you both. The journey to the Xianzhou Laofu wasn't an easy one. Once the formalities at the Palace of Astrum are finished, I'll find a quiet spot on this street and plant a seedling. The Sword of Heroes will finally be... Oh, you're interested in my home planet? That's great. Your Excellency is... Even though the trade route just opened, Still might take around 200 system hours to get there from... Sure, it's a bit cold, and the food is a bit repetitive, and our houses aren't as fancy as those on Pier Point. Oh, you mean the Mieka Kivesa? It's an incredible sword. That weapon, it also has the power to choose monarchs. All the ancient kings of Kalevala received a sign from the sword. According to tradition, each monarch would plunge the sword into a stone, and only a hero recognized by the sword could pull it out. Well, those are just legends from the past. Well, times have changed, and now that we have a council in place, the idea of a sword crowning a king has become a joke. While the sword holds great historical significance for Kalevala, it doesn't truly. The old-timers on council had a heated debate about whether to return the sword. They eventually that's the best possible outcome. Wonderful. It's an honor to have so many...
Let's head to the Palace of Astron together. But I might not know all the stories and legends. Grandpa always asks me to go look at swords with him. But he hasn't said now that we're invited.
Finally, a rare break. Why don't we head to the
There you are.
exchange?
Come on.
Please allow me to offer a sincere compliment to my fair lady. Well, if it isn't my dear friend!
I
am Argenti, a member of the Knights of Beauty. I was invited as a part. May I have the honor? What a beautiful name. I wonder if you have ever heard.
Oh, you're here, Yun-Li.
manners. Come on.
Well, sorry for keeping you waiting, Mr. Pavo. Now,
Before the ceremony officially commences, I want to express my gratitude to the Knight Argenti. Thank you for enlightening us about the sword's origin and for escorting... On behalf of the Kalevalan delegation, I, Pavel Kalistaya, am here to return the legendary...
I'm truly grateful for Kalevala's noble act of returning the sword and for the Knight of Beauty's chivalry. Now, as we gather here on the Xianzhou Laofu, I officially welcome Mieka Kivesa. It's a fitting name for a sword with such a legend. I still remember the name engraved on this sword the day it was forged. Guyin. It was forged by Han Guang, a craftsman from the Zhu Ming's Pyrojaya Forge.
Wait.
Although its blade is worn and cracked, its essence remains as resilient as the Xianzhou Cloud Knights. All it needs is some repairs and polishing by the skilled craftsmen of the Artisanship Commission to regain its former glory. I've decided to entrust this sword, Guyin, to the Laofu Artisanship Commission for restoration. Furthermore, it will serve as the prize for the champion of the Laofu War Dance. This sword will be wielded against a...
Thank you, General. It is an honor for
Now, esteemed Knight and delegation members, please head to the Artisanship Commission, where...
No! This
Yun-Li! These esteemed guests have...
Oh, I didn't realize this sword was actually forged by your father. Returning it to its rightful owner is,
Grandpa, give me that cursed sword right now! I'll melt away the...
Don't be rude, Yun-Li. Apologize to our esteemed guests.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for making a scene. But I have to melt down this cursed sword.
Yun-Li. This is exactly why I didn't want Yun-Li to know about this. Could you, please, keep an eye on Yunli? That is a tall order, but I'm counting on you. I apologize for the unfortunate
Unless I'm mistaken, Yunli should be around here somewhere.
How time flies.
Did Grandpa send you to look for me? I bet he did. Really? Just so you know, I'm here just waiting for the perfect... Grandpa sent you here. Have you heard of cursed swords? I guess that's what it means. A cursed sword lets anyone, even a complete novice. I'm not joking around. While a cursed sword grants instant abilities to its wielder, it's like continuously adding fuel to the forge. Soon enough, it will no longer be a person. I wonder if you've ever heard of a creature called a heliobus. There was a lunatic swordsmith who infused metal blades with heliobite. I know, I shouldn't have caused a scene at the sword gifting ceremony. But I've thought this. By the way, aren't they supposed to be taking the sword to the Artisanship Commission? Looks like they're not going to show up here. It doesn't matter why Grandpa chose that sword. I'll track down every single... I have to go now.
Is she planning to sneak into the Artisanship Commission and steal that sword? The Artisanship Commission is so big. Where could she be?
Just a while ago, a girl came up to me, all fierce and demanding to...
No idea who she is, if she really works here.
Oh, I see.
Explains what?
She said something like, I'm a member of the Artisanship Commission. Where do you keep your
Wait, why did you give her directions?
Where else? Like I said, she was headed straight for the warehouse, where all the...
Yeah, that place is filled with Master Gongshu's precious arumatons.
What are you doing here? Look. Fine. Let's smash these...
I always deliver. There's no backing out now, for me or you. Time to say bye. Boom.
Self-inflicted misery.
Relax.
Lance forward!
Who's the little backstabber? That's better. Time Time to say bye. Boom.
Bending the rules.
Stand still. Just a little something. Think nothing of it. Relax. Time to say bye. Boom.
That was the last of them. This place is heavily guarded. But seems like not even those craftsmen know where the arsenal is. You're not really here. No. It's not. Grandpa made a promise to the delegation, but leaving that cursed sword here will also make things different. You probably think I'm being impulsive. No, really. Seems like you've met a lot of people. Look. I owe you an explanation. I already told you about Guyan, the sword that was returned during the ceremony. I rarely mention his name to anyone other than Grandpa. Maybe, like you said, for some reason. Honestly, I don't remember much about him. All I know is that the Pyrogyre Forge used to be a bustling place, with people. I didn't catch all the details, but I do remember seeing him forge those amazing swords, while the visitors watched with smiles on the swords crafted by the Pyrogyre Forge are famed across the stars. They possess exceptional sharpness, but then he became obsessed with becoming a famed swordsmith. However, the palace was overrun with visitors from afar. Some left empty-handed. Others got swords that didn't fulfill their desires. It was so sudden. I was frozen in place. I don't remember much after that, except for the pounding of my heart and the sound of my own my tears when it stopped. And I couldn't see if General Huayan hadn't arrived in time. After that, General Huayan took me in and treated me like his own granddaughter. Han Guang paid for his sins, but his troubled legacy must not go unchecked. When I joined the Pyrogyre Forge for training, I made a vow to hunt down all the other cursed swords. I'll separate it from the Heliobus. Then, I've said my piece now. Even those travelers who came seeking Han Guang's swords all came. Most of those so-called great heroes were heartless killed. Many of the cursed swords I've destroyed had honorable and grand names, too. Somehow, after talking to you, well, I'll have an honest conversation with Grandpa tomorrow. Yeah, anyway, thank you.
I should go back to the Palace of Astrum and tell General Huayan what happened at the art.
My granddaughter didn't cause any. Sorry for all this trouble. Yun Li told you quite a bit. Han Guang was much, however. Talent can sometimes be a curse. He had an unusual fervor for forging, and according to him, while weapons of mass destruction like Zhu-Ming flames, usually Xianzhou swordsmiths infuse a basic level of awareness into their swords to make them easier to wield. By infusing Heliobi into swords, He managed to forge after countless battles. All the anger, fear, and bloodlust are soaked up by the Heliobi within the... No matter how noble Hongwan's intentions were, those weapons soaked in blood. Later, Outworlders got wind of what he was doing and encouraged him to keep forging cursed swords. They came up with all sorts of... And you know what happened next. That massacre took her parents' lives, and the lot... Yes. I don't want her to spend her whole life, despite her vow to hunt down and wipe out all cursed swords. Fulfilling that vow, and to reclaim those swords, she has to duel the bloodthirsty wielders, teetering on the edge of life and death. I took her in to give her a chance at a normal childhood. Even if she manages to melt down all the cursed... Hu Yin is indeed one of the cursed swords. Very few swordsmiths could use Heliobi as forging material, and Han Guang was... I thought this sword could be an opportunity. I wanted to tell her. I also wanted to find a chance to tell her about the history and origin of this sword. I've instructed the Artisanship Commission to keep the sword safe in the arsenal. If you have any doubt... Since my granddaughter mentioned talking to me tomorrow, I'll be waiting for her.
Time to go back and find that class-skipping March 7th.
All right, everyone is here.
Yun Li,
Yeah?
now is not the time to use your... If we don't recover the sword, we will be breaking our promise to the Lawfu and betraying the
Yes. It's my duty to thoroughly investigate the case. Even though Yun Li is firm in her words.
After...
In this case of Gu Yun's theft, everyone involved seems suspicious. First, during the sword gifting ceremony, Yun Li openly expressed her intention to steal the sword. She even mentioned it The Realm Keeping Commission inspected the arsenal where Gu Yun was stored, and there were no signs of forced entry through the doors or windows. Hey! It's just a... The box containing Gu Yun was opened and the sword went missing. But none of the other swords in the...
Well,
Exactly. The suspect had... So, besides the ceremony participant... In that case... That makes sense. The delegation, led by the Knight of Beauty. Argenti? Oh, that knight. You might not know, but he's the one who recognized the sword's origin on Kalevala and escorted it back to the Xianzhou. In other words, he's the one who made it so. He wouldn't have gone through... Master Gongshu checked the work records, and I questioned all the craftsmen and apprentices who were on shift at the time. So?
I can prove that she came to me after leaving the Artisanship Commission.
To put it simply, not everyone who's seen the sword has been to the Artisanship Commission. Not... So...
I didn't steal.
Well, when you've eliminated the impossible, whatever remains... If you want to prove me wrong...
Let me gather my thoughts. I need to help Yun Li clear her name. Did we miss any clues?
If you've found any clues... All right.
Who could have thought that the Miekaki vesa would be stolen? And that, regardless, we've accomplished our mission. And now it's the Xianzhou's problem. That's enough, young lady. Let me get something straight. The first master of the Miekaki vesa slew countless demons and then passed it down to a line of the monarchs would heed the guidance of the hero spirits within the sword and gain What is, Helio? The point is that the Miekaki vesa did help the ancestors of Kalevala.
I don't want to make things difficult for official Dahao. If I can find that cursed sword, I can prove. Well, don't blame me if I find it. There's something else bothering me. Why would the thief take this? I mean, carrying around the sword like that.
Yes, I received your message yesterday, but when I went back this morning, all that was left was the case. However, as the Master Artisan of the Artisanship Commission, I've got to clear— Wait, no. I just remembered. My...
Yun Li says she didn't steal, but I know well that Yun Li can be impulsive. So if you were with Yun Li yesterday, young lady, so you have the best chance. No, she was still mad at me, so she didn't come by. After the ceremony, Argenti carried the sword case, and together with the delegation, they were escorted by the... I'm counting on you, then.
So, the thief took the sword from the... Why is this flat?
If you've found any clues...
Thank you. But...
100% sure. Fine. Throughout the entire incident, there was only one suspect who broke into the Artisanship Commission. Miss Yun Li caused a ruckus at the Artisanship Commission, trying to take away Gu Yun. After bidding farewell to you, Yun Li pretended we haven't found any other suspects or evidence.
Can I prove this?
Throughout the entire incident, there was only one suspect who broke into the Artisanship.
On second thought...
Take your time. Throughout the entire incident, there was only one suspect who broke into the
Your statement isn't quite accurate.
True. But they all left after delivering the sword. We looked into it as well. Before Gu Yun was handed over, the Psy Crane at the entrance of the Artisanship Commission...
Why would I dare leave?
Throughout the entire incident, there was only one suspect who broke into the Artisanship Commission.
On second thought...
Take your time. Throughout the entire incident, there was only one suspect who...
On second thought...
Take your time. Throughout the entire incident, there was only one suspect who broke into the Artisanship Commission.
On second thought...
Take your time. Throughout the entire incident, there was only one suspect...
On second thought...
Take your time. Throughout the entire incident, there was only one suspect who broke...
On second thought...
Take your time. Throughout the entire incident, Miss Yunli caused a ruckus at the Artisanship Commission, trying to take away Guyun.
What Dahao said seems right. Exactly. So at least Yunli.
If your testimony is reliable. Miss Yunli caused a ruckus at the Artisanship Commission, trying to take away Guyun. But you stopped her in her tracks.
On second thought.
Take your time. Miss Yunli caused a ruckus at the Artisanship Commission.
On second thought.
Take your time. Miss Yunli caused a ruckus at the Artisanship Commission.
On second thought.
Take your time. Miss Yunli caused a ruckus at the Artisanship Commission, trying to...
On second thought.
Take your time. Miss Yunli caused a ruckus at the Artisanship Commission, trying to take away Guyun.
On second thought.
Take your time. Miss Yunli caused a ruckus after bidding farewell to you.
After Yunli and I went our separate ways, and much later, Master Gongshu told me the sword was confirmed safe. Can I prove this?
After bidding farewell to you, Yunli pretended to leave. Wait, you messaged Master Gongshu? However, it only proved... After bidding farewell to you, we haven't found any other suspects or...
Looks like you're missing some...
There are no signs of the arsenal being broken into, so...
No. The fact that there are no signs... Which piece of evidence should I use to convince Dahao?
We haven't found any other suspects or evidence.
I carefully examined the lock of the sword case.
What does that mean?
As to why the case was never locked in the first place, only the people who do... Plus, I found some... Which piece of evidence should I use?
We haven't found any other suspects or evidence.
I found this in the...
Rose?
I don't know. But I do know that wherever that Knight of Beauty goes, he always...
My thoughts are a mess. The sword case was never locked, which is evidence that only someone who delivered the sword... But how did he manage to take the sword from the Artisanship Commission?
I know. Guyun flew out of the case on its own. The Knight of Beauty...
Don't be ridiculous. I've only heard about the Mieka Kifesa being able to...
Like I said, the sword contains a heliobus. Argentine...
Official Dahao.
Let me see.
Let's go. We've got to find Argent...